The Roman handshake. When people think about the Romans, they usually imagine their handshake as the forearm grip, two men grabbing each other just below the elbow. We see this image in movies like Gladiator or Spartacus. It looks powerful and dramatic, which is why Hollywood made it so famous. But archaeology tells a different story. Statues, sarcophagi, and countless Roman coins mostly show the normal palm-to-palm handshake and not the forearm grip. Still, historians believe the forearm grip was real too, mostly among soldiers. In an army camp where daggers were common, grabbing the arm was a way to check that no weapon was hidden up the sleeve. It was less about ceremony and more about safety. The secret society handshake. In the 1700s, secret groups like the Freemasons created special handshakes. To the outside world, they looked completely normal and ordinary. But inside the group, every squeeze and finger position carried hidden meaning. Some handshakes showed your rank. Others let you enter private meetings without speaking a word. If you didn't know the grip, you were clearly an outsider and could not belong. Imagine shaking hands in a candlelit hall and feeling a tiny thumb press. Suddenly, you realize this stranger belongs to the same hidden group as you. For members, the handshake wasn't just hello. It was a code, a secret signal, and a proof of identity only the chosen understood. The normal handshake. The earliest evidence of this handshake doesn't come from Rome, but from the ancient Near East. Assyrian reliefs from the 9th century BCE already show kings clasping hands as a sign of alliance. For example, a relief of the Assyrian king Shalmaneser III depicts him shaking hands with a Babylonian ruler to seal a political pact. A few centuries later, in ancient Greece, the handshake shows up again. On Greek gravestones, people are carved shaking hands, sometimes saying goodbye, sometimes showing respect or equality. The Greeks even had a word for it, dexiosis, which means the joining of right hands. Over the years, this simple palm-to-palm handshake survived and spread. In the Middle Ages and later, it turned into the normal handshake we all use today. The medieval knight's handshake. You probably know the famous movie scene. Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator clasping Carl Weathers' hand. That's the modern bro dap. But the roots go back to medieval knights between the 11th and 14th centuries. Knights would extend their weapon hand, the right hand, to show they weren't reaching for a sword or dagger. With steel gloves, the handshake was loud, clumsy, and heavy, but it mattered deeply. If you refused a handshake, it wasn't just rude, it was a clear and open sign of hostility. Accept it, and at least for that moment, you were safe from attack. The knight's handshake was the ancestor of today's dap. Respect, recognition, and loyalty between warriors who trusted each other enough to let down their guard. The fist bump. The fist bump may feel modern, but it started back in the 1970s. Boxers and basketball players began using it as a quick, cool greeting with less contact. Big names like Muhammad Ali helped make it popular, and by the 1990s, hip-hop culture spread it even further around the world. The fist bump was perfect. No sweaty palms, no awkward lingering, just one quick tap of fists. Then came COVID. Suddenly, the fist bump became the safe choice. Leaders and doctors recommended it over handshakes to avoid spreading germs. Some people even took it further, greeting each other by touching elbows in public. What began as a sports and street move ended up as the pandemic-approved greeting of presidents, athletes, and ordinary people everywhere. The hood handshake. The hood handshake, or DAP, was born in the 1960s among black soldiers in Vietnam. The name comes from dignity and pride, a reminder of strength and unity in tough times. At first, it was a symbol of support and respect during the civil rights movement, a bond between brothers. Later, it spread into neighborhoods, hip-hop, and sports, reaching youth culture worldwide. A typical DAP starts with a palm slap, fingers locking, sliding out in rhythm. Sometimes it ends with a snap, a fist bump, or even a half hug. The beauty of the DAP is that it changes. It's flexible, personal, and full of style. Every group of friends has their own version. Miss it, and you look like an outsider. Get it right, and you're instantly part of the crew. What began as a political message has now become one of the most popular and personal greetings on Earth.